Hey guys, it is Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Got a classic, an incredible classic today. We're going to learn how to do The Sounds of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. Now this is the original version. This is the on their Wednesday, what is it? Wednesday morning 3 a.m. album. The original acoustic version without all the additional, as it became more popular and they added all this like more rock instrumentation of it. This was just the acoustic version. There was a couple of overdubs in it, but for the most part, it was just a single acoustic. So, well, you can play it on a single acoustic. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. So that's the version we're doing. This is standard tuning, the capo at the 6th fret here. So get that set up, and you'll be ready to go. All right. Now, before we get into this, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And even if you are, please ring that little notification bell so you'll know whenever I send out a new lesson. All right, so let's start here. The first time through the vocals, it's fingerpicked. All right, and so I'm going to take you through each one of the chords here, fingerpicked, and then we go through all their other sections. It just kind of repeats 3 times when more of a strum style. So we're going to start here with this. All right, so that's pretty simple here. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can pick this. You can pick it in kind of a Travis picking style, which means the thumb is getting kind of pretty much every other note. And then the top note above it, you can use your index or middle finger, usually, whatever you want. That's not exactly how Paul Simon does it. He kind of uses his thumb, middle, and index finger in the patterns. And he'll kind of sometimes do like a Travis picking thing too as well, depending on if he wants to bring out a bass line or something. So anyway, that opening is the 2nd fret there. Now I'm going to say 2nd fret, that means above the capo. All right, so 2nd fret above the capo. And then the open high E, open high E, open B, open high E. So that's the pattern. You can see I'm just taking my thumb, hitting the G string, high E with the index, and then the thumb on the B. Or you can pick it thumb, middle on the high E, index on the B, and then the high E with the middle again. Next chord. Now this is a G chord, and this all you really need is a 3rd fret above the capo on the low E and the high E together. And then you're going to play the low E, high E, open G, and then the high E. And that's the pattern. You're going to play that pattern 4 times. So far we have this. 4 times of this pattern, and 4 times on the G. Now it goes to an A minor. So hold an A minor chord here, right above the capo. Obviously we know it's not an A minor here, it's an E flat minor, but we're gonna call it A minor just for make it easy. So open A, open high E, and then you're gonna pick the G string and the B. So we have this. So it's basically just that pattern done twice. Now he pretty much continues the pattern, except instead of hitting the A string in the bass, he hits the D string. So you're still holding that A minor. So instead of the 5th string there, pick the D string and then do the pattern like we did before. So we have this twice with the open A, then once on the D string. And then we're going to move to a C major chord by just simply picking up your ring finger and move to the 3rd fret of the A string. And then you're going to do that same picking pattern with the A string, high E, G, and B. So look at this. So coming from the A minor, Then we're going to go to an F major chord. Now, you can play the F major as just a full bar, or you can play it with hooking your thumb over there. Whatever's the most comfortable for you. As long as you can get the notes, it's fine. So F major shape here, or one fret above the capo. We know it's an actual B major chord, but don't worry about that. We're going to have now the 6th string there. So we got a full bar here, and then 2nd fret on the G string, 3rd on the D and the A. So you know, pick the same pattern, but now obviously we got to hit that F in the bass. So that's on the 6th string, and then high E, G, B. All right, so let's take care of this whole little transition from the A minor. All right, now we go to a C chord. Right after that one pattern on F, we go to a C chord that pretty much does the same pattern 3 times, except you're going to change the bass note each time. It looks like this. Now he probably plays it like this. A C chord was just a G in the bass. So that's just, you know, you hold a regular C chord, replace that note with your pinky, and then move the 3rd finger over there to the 3rd fret on the 6th string. So you don't have to move anything. I kind of like moving my finger with it. Kind of helps bring out that note so it doesn't sound too cluttered. So play it whatever way you want, but anyway, it's just a C chord with a G in the bass, and then that pattern starting from the A string, then high E, G, B, then the same thing, except now start on the 6th string, low E, and then back to the 5th of the A string. So it is. Now, back to the F major chord. Now this one's a little different because this definitely you're gonna pick the low E string, then the high E, then with the thumb pick the D string, and then the B. All right, so let me go through slow what we have so far. So we just at that F, one quick time on that F, and then you're going to go back to the C where you're going. Now once again we have the A string there, open high E, then the D string. So you're getting that note in there. So do that with the thumb. And then the B string. And then it changes that bass note down to the low E again like we did in the previous C. And then it's back to the normal pattern, which is the low note and then the high E, G, B. So from starting on that C, then we jump back to this F, and now we get to do the normal picking pattern 4 times on it. All right, so that's just the F, starting on the 6th string, high E, G, B. Do that 4 times. And then we have the part that has the most movement in it. It looks like this. Okay, so it's a really cool sounding part there. So we're gonna start here. It starts with you don't really need a full C major chord. It's built around a C major, but we're having D string, 2nd fret there. So you're holding a C major, D string, open E, high E, B, high E, and then that D string again, and the B string. So like this. And then we have a little bass line. We have 3, 2 on the D string to 3 on, just back to the C major chord on the A. So from there, so we'll just start from where we started this section. Then we're going to have open high E, open G, then the 2nd fret there on the A, taking us down to an A minor chord. You're going to hit that open A first. So we had this. All right, so from the open A, you're going to have the A minor. You're just going to play open A, G, B, G, and then shift back to a C major chord, and you're just going to play C, open G, D. All right, so from that section that moves around a lot from the beginning, let's play this. Almost finished here. We're going to go to that G chord that we played earlier, kind of the second chord we did. Same thing, just the third fret on the low E and the high E. And the same pattern, actually no, it's a little bit different pattern. We have low E, high E, open G, B. Done twice. And then back to that little intro lick. Just play that riff twice. And then you're going to strum a full A minor chord. Let me play the whole intro real quick for you, a little slower tempo. Alright, so some really beautiful guitar parts there, and obviously the vocals are incredible too, so it's really cool. Now it gets a little bit easier. We have a strum style for the rest of the song. When it first comes in with a strum style, there's a little guitar overdub there, which we're not really worried about. But the main parts is this. I'll just play through it one time for you here. Starts over. All right, so we have he's doing some kind of variations on the chords here, just common chords here, and the timing of the chords are really there to kind of match the vocals. So the second and fourth time, I'll point out there's a C in there that is held a little longer in the second and fourth verses. So or of the versions of them strumming it, let's say. Okay, so we are in really the second here, but you know, it's really the first of the strum style. But let's start here with this G chord, and we're gonna have a just now the rhythm is just like 1, 1, and 2, 2. Now you can do that like down, down, up, down, down, up, or just do all downstrokes. And obviously I don't have a pick, so I'm just kind of using the back of my nail or whatever. Alright, so while he's doing that, on the third hit there, he'll transition here with this G chord to the second, holding the second fret on the D and the first fret on the B. So we have this. So he basically did that whole pattern 4 times there on that G. Then we go to an A minor chord and do the same rhythm here, but instead of doing any kind of pattern, he just lifts off the strings on the third hit. So just strum into A minor, and then you let go. Then we go to an F major really quickly, just for one pattern, that's it. So we have this. You can do that once again. You can do that. if you like doing that like that, or that's more comfortable with me just to play the bar, especially with that capo there, it's kind of a pain. So we just have this so far. Then we go to a C chord. Now when you play the C, have a G in the bass there. And we're going to do this. So the movement that we're going to be doing when we're playing the C chord is just lifting up the second finger there on the third hit. So you do a pattern like 3 times there on the C. So the timing of this, it's really good to listen to the song and try to follow along, because the timing of the chords is quite odd. It just, how it works with the vocal melody is just really amazing. So there's not like, oh, 4 times. It's like 4, 4, 6, 5, 7. I mean, it's very odd. So, and you'll know that by listening. And like I said, it changes on the second, 4th time. One of the chords is played a little longer. So being very familiar with the sound of it is what's going to get you that. So after we do this C, we go back to the F real quick F, just one time of the pattern. So far we have the G, A minor, F, C, F. Looks like this. Back to that C, done, the pattern done twice there. Now that's the C. The way you know it is right before we get to an F chord, where we kind of hold on F like through 4 times on the strumming pattern. The C right before that is the one that's kind of extended in a couple of the verses, like the second of the strong verses, like the 2nd and 4th one. So this first one is just played twice, strummed twice. Still doing that little variation in there. Now we get to that F. And then we get to the C, and there's a little thing that happens here to C. Alright, so what's going on there? I strum it like the pattern twice. And then I do this. I basically just play 3, 2 on the D over to 3 on the A string. And then play that note again down to 2nd fret on the A. So I'm really trying to accent that bass line. So I'm kind of still holding a C around it. And then we get to that A minor, just strum it. So you kind of strum it twice, come back with that bass note there at the 2nd fret, and then back to the C. So we have this. So after that C, now we're to the G chord. And here, the second to last one, you don't hear, he doesn't really do a lot of movement there. Just strum it, the pattern twice. And then back to the A minor chord. So it just ends it with that pattern, and then it starts back over to the G that we started with. So I'll play the whole thing for you. Now, they're all the same. Like I said, it's just a little difference is that C chord is held a little longer. So it's just the timing of some of these chords. You got to really just know the song. So let me just play through them real quick. It sounds like this. So when you do this, you're going to hear him. He's going to play it sometimes lighter dynamic and sometimes really digging in. So once again, you can just listen to it and you can hear, what to do and how hard to strum it. Now we just have a quick little ending to cover. It's just like the intro riff that we did. So we just do that a few times. And then, while still holding that A suspended second chord, just take your ring finger and strum it backwards. Drag it across to the A string. It's a really cool sound. All right, so it's a great song. It's really cool, works great, just solo, just an acoustic and a couple singers, a couple of great singers. and you can make magic too. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.